for a lot of people who are beginning a spiritual journey, and I told you about this earlier with my friend Andrea, who called me and said, I'm reading this book, it keeps talking about how crucial it is to open your chakras, but it doesn't tell you how to do it. It just keeps telling you to do it.
Yeah.
But what I like about you is that you actually explain to people how to do these things. So tell me about that.
Well, the first thing is, chakra is not a word in our language. So opening our chakras, the biggest obstacle is people are not even clear what's a chakra, let alone open it.
Right.
And it's a word I heard, and it's maybe current and trendy and in the spiritual circles, but the word itself is actually a Hindi word, and it means a wheel. And we run every cell in our body is a spiral, and energy moves in circles, and when that energy gets jammed, it's like the wheels on your car getting jammed, and you just kind of skid out. So there are 7 primary chakras, there are 12 subtle chakras, and I believe we'll discover that we have more as we begin to recognize our essence, and our energy body is much bigger than our physical edges. But this is the car that we drive in, the physical body, and it has like 7 basic cylinders. The first is your ground. So when you're grounded, the root chakra, that means you're actually drawing your energy not just from your willpower, but from the earth. You're being nurtured in your earthiness, because our physical bodies are earthy. The second chakra is your emotional body. Here's how I lay them out. I am in this body is the first chakra. So that's basic needs. Then you need sleep, you need good food, you need fresh air, you need enough water, you need a good pillow, you need to feel secure. So make choices to bring about a greater sense of security. That's how you open the first. The second is I feel. So these are the things that you enjoy or you like. And this is what I call the playground of life, because we come in to be creative. So these are the things that are connect with our senses, our smell, our taste, our touch. It reminds me of a time when my daughter Sonia I took her to the beach in Hawaii. She had never been to the beach before in Hawaii from Chicago, and she was like diving in the water and squeezing the earth. And when she went to bed that night as a 4-year-old, she said, "Mom, I used to love you like a dot, but now I love you like a circle." Because her feeling body was so expanded, and so that's like how she just...
That's how she described it.
Yeah, fed her senses.
Yeah.
The third chakra is your intellect. The third chakra is your mind. It's also your boundaries. It's to say, this is my kingdom. I call that your balanced sovereignty. So this is where you get to decide what suits you, what doesn't. Your yes, your true no. And the word for this one is I decide. I choose.
That's the third chakra?
Okay. Right here in this. So, when people have a balanced third chakra, they make choices that really align with their truth. They're not afraid to say no, and they're not afraid to say yes. And they speak from their place of inner authenticity. If that chakra is not balanced, you get either pushed around or you become a bully. You're either fearful or you become aggressive. So this is about making choices and looking at dealing with your fear and giving yourself the right to have choices, the freedom. The heart chakra is actually 4 chambers. We have the child heart, which is the heart of receptivity. We have like the 4 chambers of the heart. Then we have the adult heart, which is the heart that takes responsibility. You have the courageous heart, which is the heart that overcomes fear and objection to live your truth. And then you have the wise heart, which is you forgive everybody, everything, every time. Because in the truth, we're all just here learning.
And then the next one is throat.
The throat is speaking your truth. And this is important because a lot of people confuse that. Like, I'm telling, this is the truth. Well, we don't know the truth.
Yeah.
We can only speak our truth. The throat is the chimney of the heart. So it's hard to have a purely clear throat chakra if our heart isn't tuned in. So it's telling the truth. It's listening, because the throat chakra is also this part here, the throat, ears, listening is all about intuition, not just speaking your truth from the intellect, but from the heart.
Mhm.
That's when you know the throat chakra is open, when you can freely say my heart says.
Right.
And you don't even pause, for example. It's also the chakra that allows this creativity down here to flow, to sing, to write, to dance, to move. And then this chakra, which I think the third eye is really blocked. This is your clairvoyance, but it's also your imagination. And it's where we see and we have vision and we can create, and because we're so tied into our iPads, iPhones, computers, our imagination is being controlled. And what we need to do to keep that chakra open is to put these things down and look up, look out, and look into the eyes of another person. Be present. Be present to nature, be present to this planet, be present to beauty. And that's where your vision comes and your capacity to see what's true, because that's what clairvoyance is. The ability to see that this isn't your truth, it's your spirit.
Right.
The eyes, the smile, the light. And then the crown chakra, I call it your crowning glory. And your crowning glory is just that sense of being connected to something greater than your ego. The ancient Greeks called it the Intelligi, which means the higher intelligence or the higher nature. We call it the higher self. When your crown is open, you know you're more than this. And you're receptive to download this greater self that you are and let it feed you. So that's it's a practice. It's each one. Sing if your throat chakra is stuck, and listen. Spend a couple hours listening outside in nature.
So what's the book that you wrote that teaches about these different chakras and how to open them?
I laid it all out in a book I called True Balance, because that's what the chakras are about. Living in your personal truth in a very beautiful, balanced way. And I explain it a little bit more in the heart area, a little bit more in depth in my book. The answer is simple. Love yourself, live your spirit.
And speaking of your books, you've written so many, 20. Most or all bestsellers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so what would you recommend, maybe like top 3 or yours, that you think people should start with or definitely read?
I think people should read cover to cover and then put it in your bathroom and leave it there or by your bedside every day and read a little. My book, Trust Your Vibes.
Trust Your Vibes.
Yeah, Trust Your Vibes. 63 little tiny tools. So if there's a tool that you can try, you can read it, just try that. Because I'm not saying trust me, I'm saying try this.
And see how you feel.
And see how you feel. Because not every tool will suit you, but there will be 1 or 2 or 3, and you only need one. So I have little, and we learn in bite sizes anyway.
Yeah.
That's how we learn. So these are bite sizes because I know who I am and what I love. I love teaching and empowering people. So that, I'd say, read Trust Your Vibes, True Balance, and if you're going through a difficult time right now and you don't know what the heck is happening, I'd say read my book, Tune In. Follow your intuition to fulfillment and flow. If you're not having a difficult time, but you just want to feel more joy in your life, the answer is simple. Love yourself, live your spirit. So I write really doable, grounded, practical, compelling books.
Things that you can actually use every day.
And they're fun.
Yeah.
So I know our minds are already burdened. I don't give you anything that's going to make it harder.